My husband disappeared every Friday. After he died, his phone unlocked itself and showed me the truth. Hi everyone. Before we get into today's video, I need your help. We've noticed that the channel's reach has been dropping a bit, and one of the best ways you can support us is by subscribing. It's quick, free, and helps us keep bringing you new and interesting stories. Your support means the world to us, and together we can grow this channel. Thank you so much. Now let's get to today's story. I'm writing from a temporary account for obvious reasons, and I've changed some details to protect my anonymity. The first time I noticed the pattern, we'd been married for 11 years. It was a Friday evening in October. Rain tapped against the kitchen window while I chopped vegetables for dinner. David came downstairs already dressed, dark jeans, the gray sweater I'd given him for his birthday. I have that meeting tonight. I'll be back around 11. I looked up from the cutting board. Again? That's the third Friday this month. He kissed my forehead. Work's been crazy. You know how it is? And I did know. David worked in commercial real estate, negotiating contracts, meeting clients. His schedule was never predictable. So I smiled, told him to drive safely, went back to my carrots. The door closed. His car engine started. The sound faded down our quiet street. I ate dinner alone, watching rain streak the windows, and thought nothing of it. We lived in a small town outside Portland, a house with blue shutters and a maple tree in the front yard. David had bought it before we met, back when he was still establishing his business. I moved in 3 months after our wedding, brought my books and plants, and the ceramic lamp my mother had given me. Our life was simple, comfortable. He left for work at 8, came home by 6. We ate dinner together, watched old movies, talked about ordinary things, groceries, the neighbor's new fence, whether we should repaint the bathroom. On weekends we went hiking, or drove to the coast, or did nothing at all. Just existed together in that easy silence that comes when you've known someone long enough that words become optional. I worked from home as a freelance editor, marking up manuscripts, correcting grammar, suggesting revisions. My office was the spare bedroom upstairs, filled with books and afternoon light. Sometimes I'd hear David moving around downstairs during lunch, the clink of a spoon against a bowl, the fridge opening and closing. It was a good life, a safe life. The Fridays were just part of the routine. Once or twice a month, sometimes more, he'd have evening meetings, client dinners, contract negotiations. I never questioned it because there was no reason to question it. Until there was. It started small. A shift in his behavior so subtle I almost missed it. He began leaving earlier on those Friday evenings, 5 o'clock instead of 6, sometimes 4:30, and he'd come home later, not 11 anymore, but midnight, sometimes 1 in the morning. Where were you? I asked once, half asleep when he slipped into bed. Meeting ran long. Go back to sleep. His voice was tired, distant. Then there were the showers. He'd come home and head straight to the bathroom, spending 20 minutes under the hot water before coming to bed. I'd smell his shampoo on the pillow, feel the dampness of his hair against my shoulder. One night, I noticed his shirt in the laundry hamper. It smelled like perfume, something floral and sweet. Nothing I wore. David? I held it up the next morning. Is this yours? He glanced at it while pouring coffee. Yeah. Why? It smells like perfume. Probably from the restaurant. You know how strong those air fresheners are? He smiled, kissed me, left for work. I stood there holding his shirt, trying to convince myself that made sense. The questions started quietly, like mice scratching inside walls. Small, persistent, growing. I began noticing other things. His phone, always face down on the table. The way he'd check it constantly during dinner, thumbs moving fast across the screen. How he'd angle it away when I walked by. Who are you texting? Just work stuff. At 9 at night? Clients keep weird hours. Then there was the credit card statement. I saw it by accident, left on the kitchen counter. A charge from a jewelry store, $300. My birthday wasn't for months. Our anniversary had passed. I waited to see if he'd give me something, a surprise. But weeks went by and nothing came. Maybe it's for his mother, I told myself, or a colleague. Maybe he returned it. But I didn't ask, because asking felt like accusing, and I didn't want to be that kind of wife. The suspicious kind, the kind who didn't trust. So I swallowed the questions, pushed them down, told myself I was being paranoid. "You're watching too many crime shows," I said to my reflection. "This is David. David who brings you coffee in bed. David who fixes the leaky sink and remembers your mother's birthday. David who's never given you a reason to doubt him. Except for the Fridays, and the late nights, and the perfume, and the jewelry, and the phone tilted away. Except for the way he'd started looking past me instead of at me. The way his mind seemed elsewhere, even when his body was home. 'Honey,' I'd say. 'Are you listening?' He'd blink, smile. 'Sorry, what?' Like I was interrupting something. Like I was the intrusion in his thoughts. The last Friday came in February. The sky was gray, threatening snow. I was working at my desk when I heard him come home early, his footsteps quick on the stairs. I have to run out. Be back later. I turned from my computer. It's only 4, I know. Something came up. What kind of something? He was already pulling on his jacket. Client emergency. I'll explain later. He kissed me without looking at me. The door slammed. I watched from the window as his car backed out of the driveway too fast, tires spinning on the icy road. That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay in bed watching the clock. 11. Midnight. 1. At 1:30, I heard his car. The front door. His footsteps. But he didn't come upstairs. I heard him in the kitchen, the tap running, a glass being filled. I got up, went downstairs. He was leaning against the counter, still in his jacket, holding a glass of water. "Are you okay?" He looked at me like he'd forgotten I existed. "I'm fine, just tired." "David, not now, please. I'm exhausted." He walked past me, up the stairs, into the bathroom. I heard the shower start, heard it run for 25 minutes. When he finally came to bed, his hair was wet, his skin cold. He turned away from me, facing the wall. Good night. I lay there in the dark, listening to him breathe, and felt something inside me crack. The accident happened 3 days later. He was driving home from work. A truck ran a red light, T-boned his car on the passenger side. The impact spun him into a telephone pole. The police said he died instantly. Blunt force trauma. He didn't suffer. I remember standing in our kitchen when the officer told me. I remember the hum of the refrigerator, the drip of the faucet I'd asked David to fix. The way afternoon light came through the window and made everything look false, like a stage set. "Ma'am, are you understanding what I'm telling you?" I nodded. Said something. I don't remember what. The officer left. I stood there. The house was very quiet. The funeral was on a Thursday. Gray sky, bare trees, cold wind that cut through coats. People came, his business partners, his mother and sister, friends from college I'd met once or twice, the neighbor who waved from his porch. They said things. "I'm so sorry. He was a good man. Let me know if you need anything." I nodded. Said thank you, accepted casseroles and condolences and hugs from strangers. His mother cried loudly. His sister held her. His business partner gave a speech about David's integrity, his work ethic, his dedication. I stood by the grave and felt nothing, just cold. They lowered the casket. People threw flowers, dirt. Then it was over. Everyone left. I went home to the empty house and sat in the kitchen until it got dark. His things were everywhere. His jacket on the hook by the door, his shoes in the hallway, his coffee mug in the sink, his phone on the nightstand. I picked it up. The screen was black. I pressed the button, and it asked for his passcode. 6 digits I didn't know. I tried our anniversary, his birthday. My birthday. My mother's name. Nothing. The phone locked after too many attempts. I set it down. For 3 days, I moved through the house like a ghost, sleeping in his shirt, drinking from his mug, sitting in his chair. People called. I didn't answer. On the fourth day, I started going through his things. Not to sort them, not to donate them, just to touch them, to remember. His closet, his dresser, his desk. In the bottom drawer, I found old tax returns, insurance papers, a photograph from our wedding. In the garage, I found golf clubs he never used, boxes of Christmas decorations, paint cans dried shut. Everything ordinary, everything expected, nothing that explained the Fridays. I was sitting on the couch when it happened. 10 o'clock at night. The house dark, except for the lamp beside me. I was holding his phone, just holding it, like it was a stone. The screen lit up, just lit up on its own. I stared at it. At the lock screen asking for a passcode. Then the screen changed. Face ID unlocked. I wasn't holding it near my face. I wasn't doing anything. But somehow, some glitch, some error, it just opened. And I was looking at his home screen, 17 missed calls, 43 text messages, 12 voicemails. My hands started shaking. I opened the messages first. Most were from me, from his business partners, from his mother. But there was one number with no name, just digits. The last text was from Friday, the day before he died. I'm here. Where are you? Before that. Same place? Before that. See you tonight. I scrolled up. Weeks of messages, months. Can't wait to see you. Last night was perfect. I miss you already. My breath came in short gasps. The room tilted. I opened the call log, the same number, 2-3 times a week. Calls that lasted 15 minutes, half an hour, all late at night, all when I was asleep. I pressed the voicemail icon. The first one was from his mother, crying. The second was from his business partner asking him to call back. The third was from that number. A woman's voice. Young, soft. David, I don't understand what happened. Please call me. I'm worried. I need to know you're okay. Please. I listened to it 3 times. Then I went to his photos. The camera roll was mostly normal. Pictures of our house, of me, of dinners and sunsets and random things. But there was an album I didn't recognize, hidden in a folder labeled Work Documents. I opened it. The first photo was of a woman, dark hair, maybe 30, smiling at the camera. She was sitting in a restaurant booth, wine glass in front of her. The next photo was the same woman, different day, same smile, then another, and another. Photos of her. Photos with her, his arm around her shoulders. Photos of them at a park, at a beach, in a car. My stomach turned. I kept scrolling, a picture of a necklace, silver, delicate, with a small pendant, a screenshot of restaurant reservations, a photo of keys on a table, and then, near the end, a picture that made me stop breathing. An ultrasound, black and white, grainy, with measurements and dates in the corner. 12 weeks. I dropped the phone. It clattered on the hardwood floor. The screen went dark. I sat there shaking, trying to process what I'd seen, trying to make it make sense. But it did make sense. All of it. The Fridays, the perfume, the jewelry, the late nights, the showers, the distance. He'd been living a second life, and I'd been too stupid to see it. I don't know how long I sat there. An hour, maybe more. Eventually, I picked up the phone, opened it again, stared at the ultrasound. 12 weeks. He died 3 days ago, which meant I opened the messages again, found the woman's number, pressed call. It rang once, twice. Hello? Her voice was hoarse, like she'd been crying. I didn't speak. Hello? David? Who is this? I hung up. My hands were shaking so hard, I could barely hold the phone. I wanted to throw it, wanted to smash it, wanted to scream. Instead, I opened the photos again, made myself look at every single one. Her laughing, her eating, her sleeping. Him looking at her the way he used to look at me. Then I found something else. A video. 42 seconds long. I pressed play. It was David, sitting in his car. Night outside the windows. Dashboard lights illuminating his face. He looked tired. Sad. He took a breath. Started talking. If you're watching this, something happened to me. And you found my phone. And now you know. He rubbed his face. I don't know how to explain this. I don't know how to make it okay. It's not okay. Nothing about this is okay. He looked at the camera. At me. Her name is Sarah. We met 2 years ago at a conference. It wasn't supposed to happen. I wasn't looking for it. But it did, and I was weak, and I let it continue. A pause. She's pregnant. I found out a month ago. And I've been trying to figure out what to do, how to tell you, how to leave without destroying you, how to stay without lying anymore. His voice cracked. I love you. I do. I always have. But I also love her. And I know that makes me a horrible person. I know there's no world where everyone gets what they want. Someone has to lose. And I think it's going to be me. He wiped his eyes. I'm recording this because I'm a coward. Because I can't say these things to your face. Because maybe if something happens to me, at least you'll know the truth. At least you won't spend your life wondering. He leaned closer to the camera. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You deserved better than this. Better than me. The video ended. I sat in the dark, staring at the black screen, and finally let myself cry. I didn't sleep that night. Just sat on the couch, holding his phone, reading every message, looking at every photo, listening to every voicemail, building a picture of a man I thought I knew. Sarah texted him constantly. Sweet messages, everyday things, grocery lists, inside jokes, photos of her growing belly. She called him Bear. He called her Sunshine. She sent him ultrasound updates. He sent her heart emojis. She asked when he was going to tell me. He said soon, always soon. Soon turned into months. The last text she sent was the day he died. I'm here. Where are you? She'd been waiting for him, their Friday meeting. He never showed up, because he was dead. The sun came up. Light filled the room. I was still sitting there. I picked up my phone, called the number. She answered on the first ring. Hello? My name is Claire. I was David's wife. Silence. Then, oh God. Her voice broke. I heard sobbing. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I never meant. She cried. I listened. Finally, she said, he told me he was leaving you. He said he just needed time. He said, he lied. I know he did. I wanted to believe him. More silence. The baby? I'm keeping it. I don't expect anything from you. I thought you should know. I thought you should know too. I hung up. The lawyer called a week later. David's will needed to be executed. There were accounts to settle, property to transfer. He left everything to you, the lawyer said. The house, the business, his life insurance, everything. Nothing to Sarah, nothing to the baby. Because he never changed his will, never made it official. He died before he could choose. So by default, I won. I got the house, the money, the life insurance payout that would set me up for years. Sarah got nothing, except a baby and a dead man's empty promises. I could have kept it all. Legally, it was mine. But I kept thinking about that ultrasound, about the messages, about her voice saying, I thought he was leaving you. She was a victim too, just a different kind. I called the lawyer back, set up a trust for the baby, transferred half the life insurance, made sure Sarah would be taken care of. Not because I forgave her, not because I forgave him, but because a child shouldn't pay for their father's mistakes. The lawyer asked if I was sure. I'm sure. I sold the house 3 months later. Couldn't live there anymore. Every room held ghosts. I moved to a small apartment downtown. 1 bedroom, clean, anonymous. I packed up David's things. Most went to charity, some to his mother. But I kept the phone. Sometimes late at night I take it out, scroll through the photos, read the messages. Not because I miss him, but because I need to remember. Remember that people are capable of living double lives, of looking you in the eye and lying, of loving you while loving someone else. Remember that I didn't know him at all. The man I married, the man I trusted, the man I thought I'd grow old with, he was a fiction, a performance. The real David was someone who disappeared every Friday, who built a second life in the spaces I couldn't see, who recorded a confession on his phone because he was too cowardly to say it to my face. Sarah had the baby in July. A girl. She sent me a photo. I don't know how she got my number. Maybe David's phone records. The baby had his eyes. I looked at that photo for a long time. Then I deleted it. People ask me if I hate him. I don't know what I feel. Some days it's anger, pure, white-hot rage at what he did. How he lied. How he wasted years of my life. Some days it's grief. For the marriage I thought I had. For the future that died with him. Some days it's nothing. Just emptiness. Like I used to feel watching rain on windows while he was out on Fridays. But mostly it's clarity. The phone unlocking wasn't an accident. It wasn't Face ID. It was him. His last gift to me. The truth. Because he knew I'd never stop wondering. Never stop inventing explanations. Never stop blaming myself. So he left me the evidence. The photos. The messages. The video. He made sure I'd know exactly who he was. And now I do. It's been a year. I don't look at the phone anymore. It's in a drawer, battery dead, screen dark. Sometimes I think about throwing it away. But I don't, because it's proof that my instincts were right, that I wasn't crazy, that the Fridays meant something. He disappeared every Friday for 2 years, and then he disappeared forever. But only after his death did I learn where he'd been all along. Not at work meetings, not at client dinners. He was with her, building a life I knew nothing about, preparing to leave me for a future that never came. The phone showed me the truth. And the truth is this. I never knew him at all. The man I loved was a ghost. And ghosts, I've learned, can haunt you long after they're gone.